Shalom Aleichem, we're learning the Sicha Vayikra, Hey, Chelik Yud Zayin, and in the original Farbrengen, Tafshin Chav Ches. When the Rebbe starts saying the Sicha, he said regarding Rashi, we're going to learn, like he mentioned, we're going to learn two Rashis this Shabbos, because besides Parshas Vayikra, it's also Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And the Rebbe said, even though there's other Shabboses that there are two things, but because Rosh Chodesh Nisan is something special, Rosh Chodesh Nisan is Rosh Hashanah Limlachim, and the idea of Melech and Nasi is Negeh Chol Bnei Yisrael, as we see in the Geras HaKodesh, that all Yidden have the obligation to keep 613 mitzvahs, but how do you actually do it? So people go through a Gilgul multiple times, but there's still mitzvahs that you'll never do. Besides the mitzvahs of a Melech, he says, the Melech is Moitzi Ol Yisrael because he's Klal Kulam, so those mitzvahs we don't have to go through a Gilgul to get. And this thing is only by Melech, not even a Kohen Gadol. Even though the Avedis Kohen Gadol is for or the whole Yisrael, the Kohenim are not Moitzi Ol Yisrael. That's only a Melech, because he includes everybody. And Rashi explains, Nasi Wakol and Pashas Chukas, and that's B'derech HaPshat, so it's forever. And this is connected to the Haftarah, Pashas HaChodesh, which talks about the Karbanos and Nasi, etc. And based on all this, we're going to learn the Sicha of Asher Nasi Yechta Ashtei Adar. Nasi Amr Khan, we're talking about the Nasi that has nobody besides Hashem Alikav. So we're not talking about the Nasi of Shevet Echa, we're talking about the Nasi and Melech of Kol Yisrael. And then we're also going to learn another Rashi. Then the Rebbe went on to the other Rashi, it's called Chaylev. And then the Rebbe came to the Rashi that we learned over here. Now, the Bira and Pirsh Rashi on the Pasuk Asher Nasi Yechta. Lashon Ashtei Adar Shenasi Shaloi Noisen Lev L'Chapada Al Shegase Kavachem Shemscharit Al Noisav. How much more so if he literally is public about his sins that he did b'mezid, which is a continuation of the pasuk before that, Chatas Hakol, that it's a charat of a chet that wasn't on their fault because they did Eidos HaTorah to follow the Nasi, the Sanhedrin. Mitzad the Anhagas Hanasi that feels the Chaymer in Achet even b'shoigeg, and therefore he awakens by the whole kol this regesh. Fine. The Rebbe said the Anhagas Hanasi, but B'teva that the Nasi is a takif, and he's always above. Like the Chumash B'mikra already learned regarding Padoi, that literally made himself like a god, and he saw Avram Avinu there was a melech, and he fought with the 4 kings against the 5 kings. It's absolute takfus. And like you see by Shmuel, regarding Shaul HaMelech. And we know what it says, the Pshat, that even the midas shebeseichel, not the seichel, the midas, the emotions within the seichel are higher than the seichel of Kol Ha'am. Nevertheless, such a person could be vulnerable and feel the Chaymer Achet, and that awakens by the whole kol this regesh. And the Rebbe went on. The Rebbe said, as we spoke in a different time, that even a behema is careful about fire. And if not, it's a behema shaita, and it's a whole nafkamina. It's a difference in halacha. If you're a shamer, if you're watching over this animal, and it's a behema shaita, are you responsible? You're not responsible in such a scenario because I took on to watch a normal animal, not an animal that runs into fire. So if this is regarding to behema, how much more so Ish Yisrael? How much more so some Yid shouldn't do a sin against the Eibishter. So in other words, that's what the king feels. If a behemoth runs away from fire, how much more so me? And nevertheless, says Rashi, Ashtei Hadar, not Ashtei Hakol, Ashtei Hadar. Why? Because Kol is not only on every Yid, but even on one Shevet. In other words, what we're saying is literally that he awakens by every individual, and he awakens by Shevet, by Kahal, Goyim, etc. All Am Yisrael. What he's saying is he awakens by the whole Kol, and the Rashi focuses and says, no, Ashtei Hadoir, because we're saying not only one Shevet, we're saying the whole generation. In other words, he can awaken by everybody, not just what could possibly be the translation of Kol, one Shevet. The chiluk between Pulas HaMelech, Asher Nasi, and Lashon Ashtei, to Pulas Kohen Gadol, and Rebbe says the reason why Rashi doesn't just rely on the first pshat of Ashma Sa'am is because according to this pshat it should have been Ki Ashma Sa'am, not Le Ashma Sa'am. Fine. And then the Rebbe went on to talk about that person has to control the melech in himself, the Reish HaMayach, etc. That he shouldn't have a chet, and if you do have a chet, you should regret. And so the Rebbe says everyone who has an influence on anybody, whether it's his family or his community or a whole group of Bnei Yisrael, you have to use this opportunity, especially as we're talking about Pesach. So that we have to talk about Pesach, and someone who hasn't started, they should start at least from Rosh Chodesh Nisan, as according to the opinion of Shimon Gamliel, at least 2 Shabbosos. As we see, Moshe Rabbeinu was standing on the Rosh Chodesh, right? That's where the Parshas Bayis. He starts on the Rosh Chodesh, he starts talking about Pesach. Whoever has the influence should awaken the idea of Pesach, Matzah Shmura, etc. And it ever finished off on the idea that says even if you sin, you should have regret, regardless of the fact that yes, our love covers over all our sins. Avas Atzmai, which is the biggest bribery, etc. Nevertheless, you should atone. You should atone. That's what the Rebbe said on this Farbrengen L'chaim L'shalom.